Just have fun.
Vibes.
Yes.
Yeah, just vibes.
Just vibes. Truly.
Oh, how do you want to be introduced?
Oh, just like Rod. Rod. I don't know. Like I don't like.
Hey guys, it's our guest Rod.
Like I do like brand deals and stuff, but I don't like saying influencer. Just like content creator.
You don't like saying influencer?
I don't.
We might get into that. Okay,
So
so
love it.
do you like content creator
Yeah, that's fine.
or
Okay.
comedian?
I don't want to say comedian.
Okay.
Because I see people get hate for that.
Oh.
I don't think I'm a comedian because you guys work so hard to be a comedian. It's just like I just make silly videos.
We don't work
on the
really
internet.
hard at all. That's why we're here.
Yeah. No.
All right. So yeah, content creator. Todd, do you want first name, last name? Just Todd.
Rod.
Not Rod.
Just Rod's fine.
Rod's good.
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
Okay.
All right. Ready? All right. Welcome back to Two Kim's One Pod.
Pod.
We have an amazing guest this week.
Yes.
He is a content creator and
Extraordinaire.
extraordinaire.
Add the extraordinaire.
I was about to.
Were you?
Can we try that again from the
Okay.
top? Okay. We have a very special guest this week. He is an extraordinaire content creator. Did I do that backwards?
Backwards. Let's try that again.
Okay, take 3. Third time's a charm. Okay. Today we have an amazing guest for you. He is so funny. He is a content creator extraordinaire. You can find him on all the platforms. Please welcome Ryan.
Hello. Happy to be here.
Yes.
Hometown heroes. Yeah.
Yes. I'm loving this vest camo look.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It was a impulse fast fashion purchase.
Oh, was it? Oh, what's your fast fashion choice?
ASOS usually.
I love an
Yeah.
ASOS. They have good
is
shoes.
good. ASOS is great because also the app is spectacular.
Oh, do you app?
That's why I do
Oh.
it.
That's the way
and
you do
they're
it.
and they're like fast shipping is fast because one thing about me is I'm gonna be a last minute shopper and I'm
Oh.
like, oh, I need this tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also it's great because the app is so accessible and very good. Really, it's spectacular.
What
Like,
makes it better than just
than Zara? You try Zara.
I
Zara.
will not try
Oh my
Zara.
god!
I'm
And
not
Zara,
doing
like the models don't display the pictures.
It's just all of it is
the
horrible.
clothing correctly. Yeah.
And this is how I know Europe is bad.
yeah.
Zara is Europe.
Well, what I like about ASOS, I just found out you can a lot of the items you can return at Nordstrom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no
Because Nordstrom bought
way.
them. Yeah.
It's-
well.
it's-
yeah.
Oh,
The ASOS
turnkey, honey.
Yeah.
It's incredible. The app is so wonderful, but also I will say ASOS, you can buy shit online late. It's like I hate being. Sometimes I'll order something and I'll be surprised by it later because I
Yeah.
purchased it too late or too drunk, and
And it comes like months later.
yeah, and I'm like, what?
It just-
Drunk Unji, what are you doing? Drunk Unji is never good to future Unji, is she?
She hates.
She hates future Unji. She resents future Unji. She's like, this bitch is all lively and hanging out during the day while I'm here blacking out at the Lincoln Lodge.
right now.
right now. Yeah. That's not just Diet Coke.
That spider bite is
Yeah.
bleeding. It's slowly seeping into your brain.
So let's
brain.
just throw another one back. Yeah. Numb the pain.
But yeah, it's been a total like whatever. It's
Yeah.
fine. But that's why I love ASOS. It's the app is very.
I gotta
good.
get on it. I gotta get
You
on
don't
it.
gotta
have it?
get
I don't have the
into
ASOS
it.
app. I don't get good call forward.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't have that shopping itch.
Okay.
My itch with that is food.
Yeah. Well, same.
yeah. You do that
it's
too?
dangerous. Yeah.
The Grubhubbing, the
Yeah.
Uber Eatsing.
Yes.
And then I
He-
have to buy more clothes because
You keep outgrowing that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's never the other way around.
Yeah. Why would it be?
Wait, is it what kind of what food is your like trigger? Like that's the one-
Chinese.
yours is Chinese.
I know you weren't asking me, but I need to get in there.
American Chinese.
American Chinese, not like Hong Kong Chinese, like real nice stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
talking about nasty ass.
You want orange
greasy-
chicken?
Orange chicken.
Okay.
I want that shit that like Jews eat for Christmas. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yes.
Yeah. Like a Chinese buffet.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
all you can eat?
My friends and I, we did a deep dive because we were like growing up in the 90s,
Yes.
2000s. That was such a prevalent part of my childhood.
the
was
Chinese buffet
going
was
to-
it, yeah.
It is impossible to find one now
That is correct.
because
Yeah.
they couldn't sustain the $5. The
I
$5
just-
business model.
but
Once
it's-
Subway came around, they were like, "We're done." The foot long, we can't compete.
I mean, it's also because a lot of the children of those immigrants don't carry on the family business like they used to, so they just are like, okay,
Wow.
done.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
we this buffet sent our children to college.
Yeah.
And they
sell it.
studied
Let's sell the property,
communication.
yeah.
Yes. What a waste of my labor.
Oh my god.
All these orange chickens. So what's your food? Do you think?
Well, I was gonna say Chinese too.
Yeah.
Really?
Just like Asian in general, like sushi, Chinese.
Yeah.
Anything saucy. Like
Ooh,
Like
yeah.
even- I know this sounds bad, but
Yeah.
I live in West Loop, so the other day I was just like walking my dog and I'm just got PF Chang's to go.
Yeah.
And, just, like, and I loved it. I
Yes.
loved every
I
second
love
of
a
it.
PF Chang's.
Oh my
Do
gosh.
you ever do PF Chang's to frozen?
I used to.
Oh my God, isn't it so good?
It's decent. Yeah. You
It
have
cooks
to.
up well.
Mr. Chang
Yeah.
cares.
Yeah.
My richest
Paul
friend.
Francis.
Yeah. It's Paul. That's not Paul Francis.
No, it's like P Fu Chang or something.
Paul Francis Chang. The Pope. I'm just imagining him on every bag in the frozen aisle. It's just the Pope holding chopsticks. Yeah.
No, this is my richest.
Oh my God.
The richest friend I had in high school worked at the PF Chang's. Like you
Oh,
made
wow.
money.
You made money.
Oh,
she
yeah.
she raised enough money to give herself plastic surgery.
What did she get?
Wow.
Her ears pulled back.
Oh.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
I never heard of that one.
Yes.
Were they
so
just sticking out
They
in
just
the
stuck
sh-
out.
oh,
Like it was
okay.
just like a classic. She's very cute, all this stuff, but she worked her ass off at that. Paul Francis at Paul Francis Chang's.
Thanks.
And, and she got him pulled back. I mean, it was like, can you imagine? This bitch is, of course, a doctor now.
Okay.
Wow.
Industrial. Wait, you guys.
What?
Someone's at the door. You know who it is?
Who is it?
It's
Someone
Ding
ding
Dong.
I was like, who's coming in? Yeah. I was like, am I on Ellen? I don't know. Like,
You about to be pranked,
yeah,
bitch?
I know. I was like,
No, we don't have the budget for that.
Not yet. Okay, so it is our segment where we talk about a minor or major trauma of the week. Unji, you want to start us off? What are you thinking about this week?
Okay, so my trauma for this week is I was remembering. So I got my period was very chaotic. Okay, as you can
On brand.
On brand.
Yeah. Nothing about you feels chill.
yeah.
It's always chaotic.
Nothing's
You're gonna
ever.
do it. You're gonna do it big. Yeah.
Moderation is not part of your language.
And oops, absolutely not. And so this story bears it out. I always say that I got my first period when I was 15, but I did have one period when I was 13. In 8th grade, it was one crazy period. And it literally, when I tell you that I got up from my seat, I felt it. I didn't know what was happening. I thought I was peeing or shitting my pants because it felt crazy.
That's what it feels like when you have your period. You're like shitting.
Yes, like
I wouldn't leave the house. I
Yeah.
don't know how you do it. I would just be like,
and that's
sitting
why
out.
all women are heroes.
Yeah, literally.
You are.
No, exactly.
But it felt crazy, and I knew something was happening, and like I just sat in my seat. So it was during 8th grade, gifted like whatever literature or whatever. It was like a weird like add-on. It wasn't just English; it was literature.
It wasn't AP.
No, it was.
Radio lab. Call back where I met you.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, anyway, sorry.
No, it was not. I was in 8th grade, so not yet AP. Not yet a woman.
You weren't getting your college credits yet?
No, high school credits, but like
Yeah.
so like I felt it. And the bell rang, everybody leaves, and I just stay in my seat, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like I'm looking down, and I'm realizing there's just like,
Is it warm?
of course, so warm.
What are you wearing? Pants, skirt?
I'm wearing?
Dress?
You know what I'm wearing? I'm wearing wide whale, boys 16 corduroys. Yeah.
Of course. Brownish, right?
Brown. Yes,
Okay,
right.
Okay, that's actually
Yeah,
not bad a
not
color
bad.
for
Yeah, and
dried
corduroy's
blood,
thick.
right?
That's right. So it's sopping up a lot of stuff.
absorbent.
Yeah, it's absorbent. I'm thinking logistically here. I'm like
The
okay.
riches, it's like a
Yeah.
bounty towel where it's like the more surface area.
The quicker picker upper.
Yeah. Bounty.
So, but it's like I'm like, and I feel it feels crazy. It's my first time this is happening. I know that it's happening, but I don't know what to do. I'm sitting there, and my English teacher, who like is just watching me sit there freaking out, and the class is empty except for me, and he comes up to me and he's like, yes, he comes up to me, Mr. Paulus, R.I.P. And he guys, he was
Let's
so
just jump right
fucking-
over that. RB.
he was so he was old. He lived a nice life, whatever. But he was like, He was my first. He had to have been like the only word for it is like kind of cunty. Like he had to represent. He had a reputation in the school as being kind of like.
Ooh.
I'm just imagining he's wearing like all head to toe leather. Like
Yeah.
what does cunty look like for an old man?
No, he's like he.
Head to toe leather.
Yeah, no, head to
He's in
toe, he's wearing a
gimp
mask.
No, but,
With
no,
like a
this-
zipper.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like this is in the late 90s.
Stiletto heels.
Yeah. And you're in your corduroy.
Something's wrong with Mr. Paulus feels cunty today. I wonder what it is.
He's serving cunts. Okay.
He has a bob. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna stop.
No, he was very Greek looking, but like
Wait, what? What do you mean?
he's very Greek.
Like Harry?
All of it, like just.
I get it. I'm Greek. So I
yes,
get it.
he's
Yeah.
very
Greek?
Greek.
Yeah, I follow.
Okay,
He's
what does that
very
mean?
Greek.
It's just like older, right?
Older,
like,
like-
very prominent wrinkles in the
Yes,
face, like
yes.
very intense face, like
okay.
like a mole, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and it's just like it's a specific kind of like nose and like
Yeah.
protrude, like all of it.
he's
yeah.
not letting go of the fact that he's balding, like he
at all.
Yeah,
At all.
yeah.
It's like it's like imagine like it's like a take on the Italian face. Like it's just like it's Greek.
a little darker. Yeah.
Little darker, like it's all of it. And
Yeah.
I grew up with a lot of Elliots and a lot of like you don't. I knew a lot of Greek and Italian. Like there was just a lot of it in my
Okay.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
So, but he always wore a 3-piece suit. 3-piece.
Wow.
That is,
With the vest.
yeah. He was
Yes,
serving.
that's cunty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very Greek. Like
Wow.
it's like very
Yeah.
proper. Like it comes off as almost effeminate.
This is a gay man, right?
Whatever. At that time, it wasn't.
This has to be a gay man.
But at the time, it wasn't. Of course. Now, when I look back
In
at
retrospect,
it, of course. But
gay
at the
man.
time, not at all. I have no idea. I just think he's like incredibly
Fabulous.
interesting. Yes, I think he's like so interesting.
Fabulous,
he's so
opinionated, and
cultured.
well-cultured.
Yes, I think that's all. Like
At
these,
that time, it was only Clinton.
Yes.
That was like people I could
Bill
use it.
Clinton?
No, Clinton and Stacey from What Not to Wear.
what not to wear.
Oh, I don't know that.
Yes, what not to wear. Okay, so but I'm sitting there and he's like comes over and he's like, Anji, what's going on, dear? And I'm like,
Very Tim Gunn energy.
yes.
Make it work.
And I just like
Except Greek.
and I just like point and I don't know, you're going through puberty, like you don't have any words for anything, and I like frantically just point to my pelvis.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
Oh.
And then I like stand up
Oh, God.
to show, kind of like I'm like I don't know, I don't want
You
to
gotta
say what's
You can't
happening.
just tell. You got to show.
Show. I'm already a writer.
Hello?
So I just like stand up to like show him, and the look on his face, the disgust, the absolute utter disgust, and
This is the
horror.
misogyny in gay culture that we really need to call out.
And also just as a teacher.
Yeah.
I mean, but there's no way that he saw that coming, right? Like it's just me. Like if I had told him some horrific, like
You were sitting on a murder.
yes,
A true crime documentary.
truly, like I stood up and I could like it's sticking together.
Oh. No.
How long were you sitting? Was it at the end of your class?
Yes.
What do you mean?
Okay. It wasn't
Sticking
like
together. Your
Like-
pants were sticking.
No. Like the globs of
Not globs.
globs.
Not globs.
That is the
We
word
don't
I've
need
chosen.
to-
That is the word I've chosen.
What are we talking? The uterine lining is globbing? It's what?
Look it up.
You know I don't Google shit. Either take your word as Bible.
yeah.
It's 100%. There's globs. There's globs.
Oh my
And so like, and it's such a thick thing. And the look on his face is I just like kind of like stand up slightly to just be like, I don't know. You know what I mean? When you're supposed to,
Oh no.
like, like,
Help. Help.
and the look on his face, and just like that sort of like old, like he had like cystic acne scars and all this stuff, and he
Yep.
was just like,
Oh.
oh dear.
Oh no.
It went from what's going on, dear, to
Oh
dear.
dear. And he put his hand to his mouth like in horror.
He gasped.
He gasped
Wow.
in horror.
Taken aback.
And he just like didn't know what to do, and so like he like got another teacher, wrapped things around, and it was just all of it was so crazy. I wound up borrowing a Frame de Lissi's. Sorry, we should bleep that out, but
Why?
I don't know. He has like a family. I think he owns a dealership, but like
Good. Plug it.
Yeah. He was so
buy
kind
a
to me.
car.
He was so kind to me. He gave me, and I was like kind of like making up excuses for like, and he gave me his windbreaker to tie around my waist. I bled onto that. And then I washed it totally in the sink and I got it all of it clean and then gave it back to him all sopping wet.
You didn't. What?
Why didn't you go home
that day? Why didn't you go home and like your parents are dry cleaners? Let them take care of it.
You know what? It didn't occur to me to go home.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
When you're
Students.
traumatized, yeah, when you're traumatized, you just.
I don't think it occurred to any adult to even
running
tell me
on
to go
straight
home.
adrenaline.
Yeah, I don't even.
Yeah.
It occurred to any adult to tell me to go home. They were like, "Wash this, that," and then like they gave me other like gym shorts or whatever, and I was like, "That's what I was wearing."
This is before mental health days.
Yes,
really, yeah.
absolutely.
Oh my
They were
God.
just like, "Get back out there, kid."
Get back out there. Good game. Yeah.
Surely. And then I washed it and gave it back to a frame. He smelled it.
Whoa! He's sniffing it.
'Cause he was-
Freak.
He smelled
He's
it.
a freak.
No, because he didn't know that I had blood on
Oh
it.
my God.
He smelled it and was like, ew. And then
No.
And then I must have looked horrified and he's like, just kidding. Thanks for washing it.
He hit you with the JK.
Yeah,
the
hit me
JK.
with the JK.
Okay. Well,
That's why I framed Delisi a king.
Okay.
A king.
Plug the dealership.
Mr. Paulus.
Yeah. Nah.
queen.
R.I.P. though.
Alright.
R.I.P. Incidentally, that is the day he came out.
Yeah.
He was like,
He's
"This
like,
is
I
it."
can't I
Can't live a lie.
So I was a secondary education major, which means like middle school, high
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
And social studies, history. And they like prepared me for that though. Like you're
Really?
going to be
How?
teaching middle school, high school girls. Like they
Yeah.
like had, it was probably not great for my college to do this, but they had, like I went to a small Christian college that should not be accredited at all. I'm actually on a mission to get it unaccredited. Actually, no, not really.
You're on notice.
Yeah. But they like had girls like do a seminar, like girls that were in my class with me and like telling us guys how to like handle a girl's first period, like what to do.
Oh my
Can
God.
you can you take us through just bulleted
Basically
points?
get a female teacher.
Pass the buck. Pass the buck.
Yeah, exactly. That was it. But like
Okay.
things not to do was like look scared. I remember vividly one of the things, there was like a printout, like a full printout with like word art and everything is like, don't
ditto
be
sheet?
scared. Yeah. Like,
Don't look. Don't be scared. Don't look scared.
Yeah.
Don't scream. Oh dear.
Oh, dear.
And gasp and put your hands.
Do not make eye contact with the
What not to do.
globs.
Yeah. Gloves.
And definitely don't pick up and smell.
Yeah, that's for the students. Yeah, that should be taught in sex ed. It's like if one of your female classmates is experiencing a period, don't come in on the smell. Oh my God.
Wow, that's tough.
That's
It
really
was
tough.
rough. It was rough.
There's
Okay.
no analog for boys that go through that kind of bodily thing.
Boners.
No, but like it's not a boner, sure, but
you
like it
hide
can
it.
go away. You
Yeah,
can put it
it's
up
not,
into
there's
your
not
belt.
residue. Well,
Residue.
If you're doing it right.
I remember that was such a big thing. It's like just tuck it into your belt. I was like,
Yeah.
what? Like, ow. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And then, or like you could hide it with your trapper keeper in front of you, or there's like stuff to do around it that's not like completely day ruining.
Yeah,
As
yeah,
like
yeah.
free bleeding into your corduroys.
Absolutely.
Like that's besides like
Title of
pooing
that: free bleeding in your
into your
corduroy.
corduroys.
But I remember too, it's like 90s, 2000s again, like we didn't talk about it. It was like
No.
the girls
Yeah.
had their periods and
Yes.
the guys never talked about it.
Yes.
No.
But like now looking back, it's like even I learned globs happen. You know, it's
I
just
learned that
like-
today.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm 42 years
yeah,
old.
and I have a sister. Like I just like it was just like such a private thing. You know, it's just like girls deal with this and guys don't need to know.
So
about
much
it.
shame
Yeah.
around it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
That's one of my
When did you
traumas.
go to what year did you graduate high school?
Oh wait, 2008.
Oh wait, so you're 8 years younger than us.
Yeah.
Did you in high school? You grew up in Chicagoland area.
The suburbs, yeah.
Did you and your guy friends admit openly to masturbation?
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
us too.
but
it was very shameful for us.
I grew up very religious too.
us too,
And so
yeah.
like
Yeah.
even like my friends were like youth group friends. Like I
Me
wasn't
too.
really
Wait,
friends.
so you're new Christian-y. You're not Greek Orthodox.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Evangelical?
Like
Yeah.
transferred. I don't know. It's converted.
Transferred.
Transferred to credits. Yeah, converted.
She did transition.
Yeah, she. But yeah, like they, like that. Those were my friends. Like I wasn't. I don't want to say allowed because I don't want to talk bad about my parents, but
Yeah.
like I truly only hung out with people from youth group.
Of course, yeah. I mean, like
wow.
that was your crew too. You were always like youth.
We
group
were
band.
like hybrids. We went to church every Friday and Sunday.
We were
but
Wednesday and Sunday. Yeah.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because our church had a gym, so all the boys wanted to go to the gym,
Yep.
and
Exactly.
I was on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah,
I
right.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I that was my like community, so I didn't have any other friends. But yeah, we none of us admitted to masturbation. If asked, we'd be like, I don't do that.
Yeah.
And now
'Cause
when you
it's
look
a
back at
sin.
it, you're
Yeah.
like, exactly. And now when you look back, you're like, what the that's all I was doing. What? And we're like, no, never heard of it.
Yeah, like, what is that?
yeah, it was.
It gets big and I leave it
Yeah,
alone.
yeah. I was talking about Book of Mormon earlier. There's that song. It's like turn it off.
Turn
You
it
know?
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
kind of you leave the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Book of Mormon, I'm going to get into a trauma just in a second. Actually, maybe this will be my trauma. I was going to do something about getting jumped on the train, but
That's
who
right.
cares about that?
Yeah.
Well, but this is way more interesting. So when I lived in Chicago here from 2012 to 2017, the 5 years, within those 5 years, I dated this guy who was excommunicated from the Mormon
Mormon.
church.
Wow.
Oh, that's right.
Because
Yeah.
he came out.
Oh.
And his family were like elders at the church. They like worked at the temple. They go like way back to like Brigham Young times and shit like that.
Brigham Young times.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the guy, right?
Yes.
Who did
Yeah.
all the
Yeah, yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, the one
the
who found-
college.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
But
wasn't
he's
the one who
the-
found the book.
No,
That was
that's
like
John Smith.
Joseph.
John Smith. John
Jingle
Joseph-
Hengel
Smith.
Smith.
Something Smith.
His name
Yeah.
is
is
like the most
my
made
name
up
too.
name.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah. It was like, oh,
Yes.
who found the book? Joseph Smith.
So yeah.
Yes, Joseph Smith. Yeah, you're right. Joseph.
Yeah, so that his family goes all the way back. So when he came out, it was a big deal.
Sure.
So he had moved to Chicago and started dealing drugs naturally, and that's when I met him because I love drugs.
Yeah.
So we
Match made in heaven.
in Mormon heaven. Anyway, so we started dating, and he clearly still had a lot of like unprocessed trauma about being kicked out. And he felt inside very Mormon. Do you guys watch Salt Lake City?
Oh,
Real
Real
Housewives?
Housewives.
Real
No.
Housewives, no.
No, okay. It's very Heather gay. But anyway, he's going through this like I'm still like culturally Mormon, but like they don't accept me. I don't know who I am. Blah blah.
Yeah.
I have a friend like that. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're
Mormon
talking
or Christian general?
about. Mormon.
Okay, Mormon. They're like way cultier than like regular Protestant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
So-
a culture.
Yes. I have so many thoughts. I don't want to interrupt your
Yeah.
story,
No,
but
that's
I-
okay.
I have
Yeah.
so many. It's just like crazy that it's like a spin-off.
Yeah.
Like a remix, you know,
Yes.
but it is to me. It feels like like Judaism, where it's like a culture.
Yeah.
Like you
Yes.
said.
Yes.
It's just
Yes.
like just because you're like you can be Jewish and not from Israel.
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
it's like kind of the same thing. Yeah.
Okay, now
The-
we're demonetized.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, no, we can bleep that out. Yeah, bleep it out. When those words come out, I'm like, actually.
LOL,
Yeah.
as if we are monetized.
Yeah.
Well, now with Radon.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so I dated this guy, and I decided, like a fucking idiot, was like, I've always wanted to watch Book of Mormon, and as a comedian, you know, so like I entered into a lottery, one of those lottery systems in Chicago, when
Chicago,
they were
like
sitting down in Chicago at the
Broadway in Chicago.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I got it. And I got like, it was like literally second row tickets. And I was like,
Wow.
oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I told the guy I was dating, I was
Yeah.
like, I got these tickets. Do you want to go? And he was like, sure. And I was like, oh, are you okay? And he was like, no, I'm okay. And I was like, okay, you don't have to go. And he was like, no, I'll go. And I was like, okay. So we go, and from like curtains up, the entire time he's watching like this, like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did he do during the
and
hell
I'm
scene?
like,
yeah, I know.
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like, fuck you in the content.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's like literally that's a song
Yeah.
about God.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
And he just like,
yeah.
and I
He starts
and
convulsing.
yeah, no, truly, and we get.
He was
on
in
the-
shock.
He was in shock.
Okay.
And he stays quiet the entire time.
He doesn't laugh. He doesn't.
Not once. And
Oh my
I'm
God.
dying.
Oh,
Yeah.
But through intermission, I'm like, can you believe it? He's like, and then we get on the red line to go back home.
Yes.
And he's
There's no words right after the show. This is wordless. You're just king, and he
Cack.
Yeah, and no, he's being awkward, and I'm trying to like break the awkwardness by making jokes or like touching
You're
his butt or
comedian.
whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't want to deal with vulnerability.
Yeah.
It's like, why aren't you laughing at me?
Okay. Yeah. You're touching his butt. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, trying to like brighten the mood. And we get on the red light, and he was like, "I can't believe you made me watch that." And I was like, "I didn't make you
yeah.
watch this.
You're
You
an
said you
adult.
would."
Yeah.
And he was like, "How did they know all that stuff?" And I was like, all the Mormon stuff? He was like, "Yeah, how did they know about all the details about what we do and what the Mormon church doesn't know?" And I was like, I don't think it's a secret.
The play is
Like,
about going and to a random village in Africa
Yeah.
and telling people about Mormonism.
Mormon-
You're not keeping it a
that's
secret.
what you guys do.
Yeah.
It's kind of the whole thing,
Yeah.
the proselytizing of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like he felt like, oh my God, like this is stuff that, you know how like that thing of like not in mixed company
Yes.
type of thing. It's like we can talk about it, but like when we can't talk about it when other people are
Sure.
not in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
So he really felt
And
like,
that's why there's some movies and stuff we don't talk about in mixed company.
like what? What are you alluding to? Are you alluding to the indie film that I did last year? Because we can't.
No,
I don't wanna talk about that.
no. I'm talking about some like movies with Asian people in it where we don't talk about it because it's so.
Oh, blatantly.
Yeah.
Shitty.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. But yes.
They're
so,
like gatekeeping Mormonism. basically.
Yeah. Yes.
And he got so upset that like the whole night he was just like stunned and he couldn't believe that was happening.
Oh.
And that people are out here making fun of the church. Like, so you can see that he was like offended as a Mormon who got kicked out for being gay. So there was
Yeah.
so much like so many layers.
Well,
The
it
Stockholm
is
of it.
hard,
Yeah.
because it's like it is your identity for so long.
Yeah.
And all the people you know, the people you grew up with,
Yeah,
like
you lose all those people too, and so there is
Exactly.
even the fear that's like you're gonna make them more mad. You know,
Yeah.
they don't even know you went to this play, but like, totally, I get
Exactly.
it. I get it.
Yeah.
That's why it is like hard and like in my content, which I'm talking about on a podcast, but like why I
Yeah.
don't really talk about like growing up in the church and stuff is
Yeah.
just because like I still love my family, you know. But
Yeah, of course.
it is hard because it is.
Are they still in
Yeah.
the church?
Mm-hmm.
They are.
Yeah.
Okay. And how do they feel about you and your situation? What is your situation?
A complicated situation.
Okay.
But we could talk offline about it a little bit more.
Oh,
But
yeah, okay.
It's hard because I do want to like find a faith again.
Yeah,
but it
me
is
too.
hard.
We've been
Yeah.
talking about that. Yeah.
I did a brief stint in a mental rehab this year just because I was like at an all-time low. Like it was crazy. And realized I was processing a lot of that religious trauma. And it wasn't, and I realized it
I
wasn't
see.
directly from my parents at all. and-
Right.
but it was more from like other people at the church and just like they put themselves on this like pedestal that is like we're a pastor or like we're a
Yes.
leader, we're, you know, like you're guiding light. But then when something wrong happens, it's like, oh, well, we're just human. And it's like, okay, but like, why are you trying to be a rock star, like crowd surfing
Oh
with
my
a
God.
guitar?
No.
The guitar.
Yeah, I went to like
Oh,
a
is
rock
that-
star church.
Yeah.
Like,
You did one
Well,
of those
this-
Hillsongy
Yeah.
types.
This is mega. Yeah.
Yeah, I went
yeah.
to a mega church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
growing
is
up.
that
The music
energy.
gets you.
Yeah,
And it
does.
keeps you.
And it does. And
Yeah.
it's just, did you guys watch, there's the show Beef with Ali Wong. And
Yes.
there's that scene of him crying
Yeah.
in
Yes.
the church.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
they're singing
Yes.
a Hillsong song or
Yeah.
something adjacent. And he's crying and then people come and lay their hands
Yes.
on him. I got chills at that part because he's just like breaking down crying because he's guilty and there's a lot
Yes.
going on. But everyone thought that he was like having a moment with
Yes.
God.
Finding Jesus.
Yeah,
Finding
finding
Jesus.
Jesus. And it was just like, no, but you have to think about like the psychology of music too. And it's just like the like crescendos and decrescendos are emotional and
It's
like
a
when
cheat.
someone
Oh,
beautiful
it's
is singing.
it's very
like,
manipulative and intentional. I mean,
Yes.
there is no part of the way that a church is constructed that is not supposed to fucking close the deal.
Oh,
It's
of
always be
course.
closing. There are
Always be closing.
always
I
be
was in
closing.
sales for 10
Yeah,
years.
they are always.
be
I mean, the churches always be closing.
Always
Yeah.
be closing and always be Christian.
Yes,
This is what we're doing.
ABCs.
ABCs.
Yes.
That's all
Of
it
life.
is. I mean, the thing about the Mormon stuff, very specifically though, is that there is a part of it that is very shrouded in mystery,
Yes.
and that is only for
That
us.
part.
It is only
It's
for
that part.
us.
It's like the going into the temple's bath.
the ceremonial garbs,
gar-
The underwear.
the underwear. Like it's just like it is. There is a
It's
part
stuff
of it.
like they don't think we should know about. you know,
and
culturally.
That's part of it, that the gatekeeping of it is what excludes and also binds the people within it more. Right? It's that this is only shit that we know.
Yeah.
So they can understand.
Yeah, it's the Patreon shit.
Yes.
Speaking of,
Subscribe.
go check out Patreon.
Subscribe. Subscribe to Mormonism.
Because you always be close.
Can I say something? It kind of is, because it's like
It
you
is.
tithe and you like give money, and it's like that paves your way to heaven, but also you're giving the church a new MacBook. You know, it's like
It's click and subscribe for eternal life.
But I mean, this is I think part of the reason why both of us, and I mean, it sounds like you as well, are like seeking a more rich inner life, because
A spiritual life.
because modern life is so bereft of it, and so that's why these places have found such a big like customer base, because modern life is bereft of it. So like there are so many willing participants and so many people that will forego a lot just because there's a sense of belonging.
Yeah.
When real spirituality is so much more deep, and like I mean, it's like there's a reason why it is the only MLM that has sustained.
Surely.
Like LuLaRoe, you wish.
Yeah. Well, have you seen? I don't know if you've done a deep dive, but like, remember 2013, Instagram influencers first started like coming to the scene, and it was even before brand deals and all of that. It was just like these people getting large amounts of followers. There's a 6 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Right? There's like that with like Mormon influencers.
Yes.
That like they can all be traced back to the every influencer can be traced back to the Mormon community.
Yes.
Because they had such a deep like following or deep community, and they have money, like you know, Utah,
a ton of money.
Yeah, and so they're able to show like display their lavish homes and all of this stuff, and
because to be rich is because it's like a very American
the
prosperity Bible, but it's also a very American take on Christianity. Is that it used to be that like when you God has shown favor to you, and so you give back to God, like that's like the tithing, but it didn't mean anything. It just like just means like that this sort
just
of
your 10%,
yes,
whatever,
and all of this. But whereas now your affluence and success is a sign of God's favor onto you, that you have created a virtue that God gives you this,
which is antithetical to like the Jesus rap.
Yes, which is like this generosity and selflessness, which actually brings real.
He's like the Bernie bro of antiquity.
But I love, but it's crazy because even like Halloween was just recently, right? And like I remember I only trick or treated once, and it was my senior year of high school. Like I begged my parents because like Halloween was the devil's holiday, and I was like, I just want to dress up as a banana. Like, what are you talking about? I was the Jolly Green Giant. I remember vividly. I was the Jolly Green Giant, and.
Were you this tall then?
Yeah.
How tall are you?
6'4".
Wow.
So I mean, that's a perfect costume. Go off, and then.
But it was just like crazy that now it's like so much more normal to do things like that, you know, or like not have to worry about what you watch on TV and all that. Where growing up, it was just like no, like you can't touch anything that is like. There was a website called Unplugged or Plugged In that like I remember people would go on to, and someone would watch the movie and count how many times there was a certain curse word, like how many nude scenes, like it was crazy. So like Christian parents would go on this website and see what was appropriate. And also, again, love my parents, so it was more on like what they were being fed. Right.
It's also the height of like sort of the satanic panic stuff, like of the like late 90s, where it's like, you know, the explicit lyrics on CDs and shit like that.
Marilyn Manson.
Yes, all of it. But it's
playing the thing backwards.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, all of it was like, oh, this has nothing to do with the content we're taking in. It's about the sort of like inner lives we're allowing our children to create. I mean, what was the ultimate, like, is that the trauma with like about like him like saying that I can't believe you made me go to this Book of Mormon?
Well, the trauma was I went to a great Broadway show and
and you couldn't enjoy it.
I couldn't enjoy it.
Yeah, you tried.
I got lottery tickets. And he really bummed me out.
And you did that for him. Yeah, you're being selfless.
Do you have a trauma of the week for us?
I just kind of gave you all of my trauma, but I have one. I have a specific one. We were talking a lot about high school even before we started the podcast, you know, like Axe body spray, all of that. But like 2006, 2007, I went to high school, and I again didn't have a ton of friends in high school.
Uh-huh.
Like the only people that I really knew were people that like went to my youth group, but also went to my high school.
Okay.
That's strange. You were 6'4" in high school and not popular.
Well, but I was also like at the time, which like pop off now. Like I'm so glad people can grow up in this time, but like I was very overweight. And so, and like awkward, and I was a theater kid.
Okay.
And
Theater kid.
Okay.
Theater kid.
That makes sense.
Debate team, like student council.
Oh my
like,
God! I can imagine what an imposing figure you would have been at the lectern.
Yeah.
At the podium.
At the podium.
At the podium.
Yeah, I mean, truly, I'm like,
You don't even need a gavel. You
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take your big fist.
I
down
just
on
I just roar. I growl.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, truly,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I did Model UN and like
Yeah.
all this stuff.
Y'all
So,
would have
like,
been friends in high school.
Oh,
100%.
100%,
And my
yeah.
best friend in high school was this girl who grew up here in Chicago and like moved to the suburbs, and she was so like upset she moved to the suburbs because
Yeah.
she was like I just miss the city. And I remember like feeling so rebellious. Like I would tell my parents I was like doing something like wholesome, and we go to Wicker Park and like go thrifting.
the dirtiest place in Chicago.
But she was like this like 5'3" Panamanian girl.
Yeah.
Like it was just
It's
my
like
best friend.
the visual of
Yeah.
it all as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I
The
love.
odd couple of it all.
Yeah.
It's great. Shout out Ana Marquez. We can bleep that out.
Yes.
But yeah, so it was. I remember like walking through the hallway, and I just like try to get to class as quick as I could just to get there and chat with the teachers because the teachers were my friends.
Of course,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, like
Yes.
I won our Mr. Tiger pageant, and I later found out it's because the teachers voted for me to win.
Oh, that's
not
so
the students.
sweet.
What's a
Yeah.
Mr. Tiger pageant?
It's like a male beauty pageant. Yeah, very.
Oh,
yeah.
that's so
Like a lot of the other men, were,
sweet.
they were like dressing up in like cheerleading costumes and stuff,
Sure.
like these tough jocks, and I was just, I got up there and sang the fray. Like I was just
The Fray!
So
Yeah.
we just
Again?
came back.
Oh really?
With Maggie Winters.
Oh my God! Again, Christian crossover.
Christian?
Yes!
Which is
Oh
so
my-
many bands. Lifehouse, Switchfoot, which Switchfoot's more obvious, but
Yeah.
like a lot of these bands.
Switchfoot
you
was
didn't
more
know.
obvious. You're
Yeah.
right. That was maybe
Yeah.
the other one. Who name a few more?
Lifehouse.
Lifehouse.
The Fray. What Secondhand Serenade?
Was Puddle of Mud one of them?
They could have been.
Okay,
was that
'cause
POD?
I POD.
Yeah.
That's what I keep
POD
thinking. I
was-
said it was POD, right?
And I
Yeah.
said no.
You said no.
Yeah.
You negated me real hard.
Yeah.
I just want to on record that
Yeah.
happened.
But-
Anyway, okay, so this is who you were.
This is who I was, yeah. And so I was walking to class, and there was this one chemistry teacher, and I remember he was the football coach, and it was just like that was such a big thing in my high school because I went to a new high school too. Like I was always upperclassman from sophomore year on.
Oh my God.
Because it was a
Oh,
new
wow.
high school.
Yeah.
And I just remember that he would like he would wait for me outside every single day, like in the last semester of the year, because he wanted me to try out for football.
Right,
Because
right.
to him, I was just a 6'4" big guy.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm not athletic. I have a fear of getting hit.
Yeah,
like
of course.
I've never
You
been in a
don't-
fight in my life.
No.
Like I was just like so
You're Mr.
timid.
Tiger, but you don't have the eye of the tiger.
I don't have
Yeah.
the eye of the tiger.
He don't got the tiger
I-
blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like
No.
I ran the mile, and I lied to my gym teacher and told her I was done after like 3 laps instead of 4. I was just
I did that
because I was
too.
the last one. I'm like, you're really gonna make me run another one?
Yeah. Did you have asthma?
No, I didn't.
Oh, lucky.
I
Okay.
know. Yeah, I was blessed. Blessed. Never had acne. Never had asthma. So
You
I
never
was-
had acne?
No, I didn't. I just had.
But you were fat?
But I was fat. Yeah. Okay. I was a size 44 waist in high school.
Acceptable.
Yeah.
That's not even fat, honestly. For 6'4", 44, that's kind of like...
But when these kids are in your ear telling you
Yeah.
are every day, like that's part of the trauma too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then I kept denying him to the point where like I talked to my parents about it, and my parents like went to the guidance counselor or whatever and told them that I was like feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then the guy, like the coach, brought it up to me one day. He was just like, I heard that you finally told your parents that I've been bothering you. And he was like, does your dad want you to try? Like he brought my dad in. He's like, doesn't your dad want you to try for
Oh my
football? And I was
God,
like,
toxic.
I'm like, please no. Like my dad was always supportive.
Yeah.
He just wanted me to be active. Like he even did Taekwondo with me just because he like wanted to be part
Oh,
of it.
sweet.
I know, it was really
Aw.
sweet. And then he ended up sicking
never
like,
do that with my child.
the high school athletes like on me too, of just like, yeah, you don't want to try out for football. I heard. I'm like, who is this guy? Like all of these like
Whoa.
teachers just trying to be
Bullies.
buddy with these students. It was so
That is
icky.
really-
and there. Oh my God, the amount of teachers that after like the year I graduated, like
Yes.
the amount of teachers that like hooked up with students and like it was yeah, it was drama.
Any
Yeah.
like boy hookup?
Not
or is
that I know of.
not
I do-
that like
yeah.
that would make No, that would make it better. That's better. I'm gonna say it's better.
But that was very much my. my
I
trauma.
hate that.
Because,
I hate
and
that.
it's just like whenever sports come around, I remember even until recently, I always pretended to like sports because that's what every other
Right.
guy
It
in
is
my
a
life
social
did.
currency of men.
It
Yes.
is. And
It
so I would
is.
just like sit
Yeah.
there and
They don't have
watch
emotions.
in
Yes.
boredom, and I was just like
Yeah.
felt like I had to. Because
Did you
it
have
was
to?
like, this what men
Did you have
do.
to like memorize stats and stuff?
No, I do remember there was one year I did fantasy just because I wanted to be a part.
Yeah.
I did
it was
that
like my
once.
office or something.
It's a
and-
very big part of office culture.
office culture,
Yes.
100%. And I remember I just like let the robot pick it,
Yeah.
the AI or whatever. And I never like traded. I never
No.
like put in my like what switch or whatever it's called. I
Yes.
don't know what it's
Your
called.
picks of the week.
Yeah, and I won that
Wow.
that league. I won $200. I'm like, well,
See,
it pays off.
sometimes
yeah.
AI does work.
Yeah, it's like 'cause these people, but I watch these people like be so upset at me, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, like this is
Yeah,
a
that's
game,
their
and you
whole
don't,
life.
you're not controlling these people
Yes.
that are on the field, and it's just like they felt like it was them playing, and it was
Yeah.
just so scary to watch.
The sports trauma is really
Yeah.
real. My
Ugh.
dad,
Yeah.
my dad was your coach.
Yeah.
He was like really on my ass.
Yeah.
More along the lines of like Korean dad sports like golf.
Yes.
Shit that could make him money.
Yeah.
You know, that was really the motivation. But I was also chubby growing up, and he was like, get your ass out there. But I had asthma, so I was like, you know? He's like, it's because you're fat. And I'm like, well, it's a circular logic.
Oh my god. Well, I even remember like my brother wanted to play football so bad, and he was really good at tennis, and he was
Yeah.
really good at swimming. Like he started swimming junior year of high school, and then he could have like Olympic qualified, and he just
Oh my
didn't want
gosh.
to, just because he was
Wow.
like, I want to play football, but he couldn't get into football, and he was so defeated because football to him was just like the
ultimate?
the ultimate. It was just like that was such like a big thing. I remember growing up, and my football team wasn't even good.
Is he
Yes.
is he like same size as you?
No, my brother was always different genetics. Well, same genetics, but like different part of the genetics. Like he was
Oh,
always
okay.
naturally fit. Like he would eat like 3 bowls of cereal after dinner and be completely fine and fit.
I
know. You hate to say it,
Fucking
But no, he's good. I love my
I mean,
brother.
but sports, period, particularly football, I think
Mm-hmm.
engenders and fosters like a very toxic. You know what I
is.
mean?
It's
Like, what
like-
the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? This
Yeah.
teacher needs to die.
Yeah. Maybe R.I.P. I don't know if he is. Couldn't tell you. Did not keep up.
and he better be in a bad
Yeah,
place.
yeah. Oh my god, yeah. I don't know what kind of curses on my high school, but there was like so many. There was like 2 like teachers were murdered. One was caught in the Kohl's parking lot with a student. Yeah, it was like crazy. Yeah, it was
Murdered
bad.
with a student?
No. That was
Student
separate.
murdered okay.
No, separate. So
Okay.
2 of them were just murdered. Separate stories. Whatever. RIP.
Crazy.
And then one of them was found in the Kohl's parking lot with like a 16-year-old.
Not a Kohl's.
Yeah, a Kohl's a Kohl's parking lot.
Okay, Kohl's Cash never
Yeah,
gonna be the same.
Yeah, never the same. It can't go back to that.
Can't go
Kohl's.
back
Yeah.
to I got.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, teachers that are too familiar with like that sort of like chumminess of like the hanging out, especially if everyone is good looking and
Exactly. It
there's
was
a-
all the good-looking teachers were the coaches. It was like
Yes.
the football coach.
There's just something about it that's
sick.
Yeah.
it's
Something
so-
sick about
there.
that.
I mean, you went to Bronx Science, so there's not this
We
sort
didn't
of.
have coaches.
Yeah.
Good.
We didn't have like sports.
It's elite.
I
It's a
love
different
that.
sort of elite.
You would have
sort
loved
of-
it.
Yeah.
I would have loved
Yeah.
Truly,
so
like a podium, but it's like that sort
Mm-hmm.
of energy to me is like a part. It's also deeply a part of public school culture.
And my parents did give me the option to go to Christian or public, and I just like I went to Christian my whole life until 8th grade.
Yes.
And, like, I want to go to public, and so I kind of did that to myself. But
No,
it
but it's
was-
like a
yeah,
good lesson
yeah,
to
yeah.
learn about.
Oh,
like,
I learned a
who-
lot,
and
yeah.
like also clocking that sort of energy. It is also
Yeah.
very much the same kind of people that do a lot of sales at offices. And so it's
I was
just,
in sales for 10 years.
So you know what I'm
get sales
talking.
culture.
Yeah, it is
yep.
very much like right, and you can, and it is like this sort of where because of your aggro and like attractiveness, there's like a certain part of a segment of culture that is open to you that is not open to other people.
Yep.
And I just remember looking at me like, I don't like this. I don't like. I mean, I would love
It's kind of the opposite of what we do.
Yes.
It's very like agent energy
No,
in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yes.
And all the agents are like jocks.
Oh, I've been
Yes.
to these,
Yeah.
like even because like digital like TikTokers and stuff are like the new, like I guess, target for agents
Yes.
and managers. And I love my agents so much. Like they've been with me since day one. They're like my best friends. But I have been to parties where I've seen these agents just like be so sleazy and just like
Yes.
say things and
And,
like come up to me and try to like shit talk my agents. And I'm like, what are you trying to do here? It's
No class.
No class.
No class.
Yeah, I'm like, I hope you know that you're like actually turning me off. Like
Yes.
even if I've ever exited from my agency, I wouldn't go to you.
And like,
you know?
what client is like looking at that behavior and going like, yeah, that's the guy for me.
Oh my god! But people think that these like digital creators are so dumb, and some of us are. Like, I didn't know what exclusivity was or like any
Sure.
of this stuff. Like you were talking about. I don't say I'm an influencer because like I don't know. I don't feel like I don't influence people in like brand partnerships. Like I do brand partnerships because, you know, like there's like I enjoy like helping others and like, you know, like funding my own stuff. And there's
Is that like a different sphere, like influence versus like creator versus?
I would say there is like an
Okay.
influencer is someone who just like goes to events and
Sure.
like posts like,
like
pictures
seen.
in their outfits and
Yeah.
just like, hey, here's my link, you know.
Yeah.
And I think there's a hybrid of people who can do both, and then there's like people who are content creators who just like do comedic skits or do
Yeah.
comedic stuff, and I say that's what I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say I'm a comedian. But there's
Thank you
Yeah.
for drawing that line.
Yeah.
yeah.
We need to walk away with
Yeah.
something.
But no, they would the amount of things that have been like slipped into contracts, and that's why I signed with an agent because
Yeah.
like
You need to.
these
You
need
brands
to,
were
yeah.
slipped. Like there's one brand that has my name and likeness for life, and I had no because I didn't know what usage was. Like
Right.
I was in sales, so I was reading the contracts. Like I know how to
Sure.
read a contract, but when it came to Hollywood, I'm the Chicago boy who went to school in Minnesota, came back. Like I never spent
Yeah.
time in LA or New
I mean,
York.
and
but,
most
like,
people that
yeah.
are starting out don't. I mean, like, why would
Most
you?
people don't.
Yeah, because why would,
Yeah.
especially if you're doing something that you love and you've been working at, you're working at the thing. You're not doing.
Yeah.
You're not learning about
business
you.
of
You're
it.
learning the business
Yeah.
of it. That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
And I feel like there's like people you can tell that want to make it a business. You can read right through it.
Yeah.
and it's very disingenuous, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know what? So call me because
Yeah.
we need.
Yeah.
Call me because I have no scruples.
Yeah.
No
scruples.
integrity.
I love
No.
that.
No
I love the
integrity.
word scruples. It's
Yeah.
very underused. I use it all the time, and some of my friends are like, "What?" Did you
It is one of those old timey words that
Yeah.
should come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the words scruples and bindle.
Bindle. But we can't say hobo anymore. You can't say hobo anymore.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Say homeless,
Canceled.
homeless
You can't-
person, right?
Yeah.
No,
Yo,
you
no,
can't even say
because
homeless
us
anymore. You have to
unhoused.
say unhoused.
Yeah, the unhoused are wearing
That's
the unhoused use bindles.
On locomotives. All right, it is that time of the podcast. It's our last segment. This is a segment where we just rave about something we're absolutely obsessed with. It's time to sit back and bitch get into it.
Get into it. Love
Okay.
it.
So
Are you gonna
I'll go
go yours?
first.
Okay.
Let me go first. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. Okay, so I am the only person at this table with an Apple Watch.
Okay, go off.
But
I'm not wearing mine. I have one. I
you
just
do have one?
habitually forget to charge it.
Okay,
Yeah.
same. Me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have one. I also don't have AirPods. The last time, you know what?
I don't have AirPods either. I
Yeah.
did, but I lost
You
them.
lost
so
them?
I
Yeah.
just like I
Okay.
can't buy them again.
My life
Yeah.
is
No,
too
you have to
chaotic
wait
and
for
things
that.
are not going good for me.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Retweet. Yeah. Actually, Shane, yeah.
But things are going well for me. So I have this Apple Watch, which is the third generation that my younger brother has given to me because he just bought the new one. This is how I get all my Apple products.
Third gen is good. You can still buy that at like Target. Yeah. Third gen is not obsolete. Is what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's
Good find.
it's definitely it's a good find. It's a hand me up from my younger brother.
I love that.
But what I've you know what, I don't do a lot with it. It's just like I wear it to like because I have a watch or whatever.
Sure.
The like activity bar is nice because I have something like visual telling me still fat. You know, like it's
It's a good reminder.
Still haven't stood up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
I mean, you don't live with your
the
mom.
stand
so
up
it's
thing
nice.
is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like,
Wait,
come
wait,
on, you
what?
can do it. Stand up.
It
You've been sitting
tells you
for a
to
while.
stand
it says
up?
every hour if you
It's
haven't stood
really
up
annoying.
within the hour.
Yeah, but I guess it's good for your health.
Okay, I guess it's nice that you don't have a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish it would tell me to drink water. That's what I need.
Yes,
That's a good one.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I have not had any water today. I've had 2 of these.
Yeah, this is the amount of water.
You're only
Yeah. Just, like,
that's
decent.
that's good.
That's good.
Yeah, half a bottle. But there's a thing on this watch that I'm really enjoying, which is the voice memo.
Okay.
Okay. So what I do most of my like working out of bits in while I drive.
Mm.
I tend to my brain tends to like do this problem solving because I'm doing something like mindless.
Yes, a shower, washing dishes,
Walking,
driving.
Do you have
Yeah.
ADHD?
I think I do.
Okay. Yeah, I do too. So.
Oh, is
It's
that
a
part
very-
of it?
It's a very big thing. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was all people. No?
Like ADHD is like hyper aware. Like you are like can only process things like while you're driving.
While
Yeah.
oh,
Or like while you're doing like while you're washing dishes.
I
like,
thought everyone was like this.
no, I guess it's just ADHDers.
Well, it's not just, but like I'm saying, like I can't
It's a
sit
big thing
down
for us.
and just like be like, okay, how am I like, what's my creative this week? And
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I have to be doing something else.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to like it's like this
Yeah,
thing.
I
Of
can't
course,
exactly.
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't sit down and brainstorm. I have
Right.
to like,
No.
be doing like fidgeting or doing.
That's
Exactly.
psycho.
Doodling
there
or-
are people that are able to do that. Just like sit down and like begin.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who
No,
they
but
are,
yeah.
but
Psycho.
stay away from me.
Stay out, yeah.
But anyway, so I have this voice memo thing. So while I drive, I'll just go click, and then like truly, it feels like Inspector Gadget. I'm like,
Oh, I love that.
yeah, right.
love that.
Like Penny. Remember Penny?
Yeah.
And the
Yes.
little watch.
Yeah.
Ah, Burger King used to have those watches. Anyway, so I'd be like,
Burger King.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, right thing about friend dying of cancer. I think the funny thing is me comparing myself to how much he made on his GoFundMe versus how much I
It
think I could
is
pull
so
in.
funny, Peter.
And
That's very much like who would come to my funeral?
Yes.
exactly. So it's a great way if you are also one of these people who drive and
Yeah.
solve problems. You can't just take out your phone and write stuff or whatever. So like this is a quick way to go beep beep and then whatever.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, bitch, get into it.
Okay.
I will need to do that.
I don't.
Yeah, I
I'm
haven't even
never
tried
gonna
it.
do that.
Yeah.
So my bitch get into it is a specific, and this is gonna get Peter's gonna get a little angry with me, but it is an Italian towel that is Japanese.
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
So Italian towel is like a scrubber that like
It's like an exfoliating
towel, and it's like a
yeah.
Japanese, and so it's like got a little more padding. It's like an extra little like layer, and it's like and one end, and on the other end it's a thin one.
Okay.
It's good. It's like it's part Luffy and part Itari towel.
So is it for your?
Okay.
It's for your body.
Yes, it's for like washing.
Okay.
So it's
like-
like
why did you think I was gonna get mad because it's Japanese?
Yeah.
How dare you put that on me? You know what the fuck? No. Okay, first of all, I don't have anything against Japan or Japanese people. Okay, let me just say that right off.
Me neither.
No. Do you know the history of Japanese-Korean struggle?
Not really. No.
Okay, so Japan used to occupy Korea.
I knew that. Yeah, I didn't know if there's like. So it's just the
New stuff?
I don't know if there's some. I don't know if there's some like new beef. I was like, oh yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're still holding on to that.
Okay.
Rod.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
No, okay, this is something that I bring this up because I talked to a friend of mine. She is a Jewish comedian, Jewish American comedian, and she was talking about how she feels about how the conversation is happening in this country / online about what's happening in Israel, Hamas, Israel, Gaza. And I said, I am trying to think of this as if we were in the like late 1800s, early 1900s, and Korea was being occupied by Japan, and bunch of comedy people were like, you know what I think? I'd be fucking pissed. You know, like-
I mean, it's all of it is like so. Whatever, but it was just literally just because I've never seen an Itari towel like this. Like I've never seen with the actual padding in it because it's usually so it's like a scrub kind of. Imagine if the loofah was not all tied together and it was just like a long. It was unspooled. That's
It's like a
just
towel
that
kinda.
you go like this, and it's much more like harsh and
It's scrapey.
It's scrapey.
Yeah.
Something like that's for a specific person.
Yeah.
That enjoys
Pain.
self-harm.
Pain.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely. So it's a little more like, but it's like it's like kind of like the Goldilocks of the Itari towel because it's like between the loofah and the straight Itari towel. It gives you both. It is quite nice.
Okay.
Would recommend.
What's the
Drop the
brand name?
link,
Could you
yeah.
drop the name for us? Or
that's what I was looking at,
It's on
but then
Amazon.
it's on
Probably
Amazon.
Just like some random drop ship.
Yes. It 100% is. It's
I used
just
to
like,
sell logistics, so I'm like, I know exactly.
It's like it's not the vendor I got it from is not the brand. It's not the person. It's like they repackaged it anyway.
Yeah.
So, but it's like
everything on Amazon. Yeah.
So if you just look up, probably it's like a Japanese style of itari towel. Like it's not
Okay.
even that. So because the itari towels on Amazon are all like the same Korean lady going like this.
Yes.
This one is not.
Okay.
It's a Japanese man going like.
So look for a Japanese man going like this on Amazon. This is the most helpful product shout out section because you're bringing in things that visually we can't show and also verbally we can't describe.
Y'all are more influencers than I am. Like, are you kidding? Like, I just listen to you describe. Like, I will be purchasing. Me, I'd be like, so look at this. Anyway, have you guys seen that? I just saw it today. This woman in China, she is like made $18 million last week because her videos. She just like shows a bunch of product and she just like pushes that across the table. She goes, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. And she somehow made $18 million. It's crazy.
Wait
Here
a
second. Wait a second. Look at this pen.
Yeah, that's literally. She's
Diet
like,
Coke.
so like.
But who's paying?
She'd be like, or she would say the price. She'd be like $5, $20. Like these brands are just paying her to do it because people
she
are
has
watching
that
their
many
videos.
followers? Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Okay,
Yeah.
so she's already big.
I think she got big from doing this, but like last week was record breaking for her making $18 million.
Okay, Diet Coke. Please reach out to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of Chinese accounts, we're gonna get into it for a second. But do you guys follow this TikTok channel called Chinese Junk Food?
No.
I need to
though.
send you this
Oh my
because
God.
it's not food.
What?
It's this family in like the mountains of China.
Okay.
Like rural.
Yeah.
And
It's most of China.
And
yeah.
the kid and there are two people in this, two members of this family who are developmentally
Okay.
slow.
Okay.
They looking fucked up.
Oh my God. I'm sitting here in fear. I'm like, what did I come on here?
The fact that you're even laughing before you even say it. Oh my God. What do you even say about it?
It almost feels like exploitation, but I think it's empowerment because
Fine line.
No one.
Fine
No
line
one. No
between
one.
exploit. Look at Britney Spears. Yeah. Hello.
Okay.
she's free and look what she's doing.
So, what is Chinese junk food? Like, what is the actual account?
It's the account of showing this family
Yeah.
just hanging out,
Yeah.
and there are a handful of family members that are like developmentally disabled,
Yeah.
and it's just antics.
What?
I was trying to hold it. It's just their antics, like
It's just antics.
one of them is just like it's in Chinese, so
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
family members is like really angry and screaming
Yeah.
and like trying to hit the
Okay.
mom.
Yeah.
And the mom's just like laughing
Okay.
at this. It's not a child, it's a full grown adult,
Yeah.
but looking small.
Yeah.
So the mom is like really, it's like a small person trying to attack you,
Sure.
and she's having fun with it, and she's like, yeah, all right, you're not gonna hit.
Okay, so this is like you remember like during the late 90s and early aughts there was a lot of like freak show people in like MTV world, like a lot of like that Jackass era of things. Dwarves and small people, or like other people with like eccentric like things on their body, like tattooed, like it was just a different time. Where
MTV
there-
True Life, something like that.
Absolutely, like that era.
True
so
life,
it's
I eat diapers.
yes, just yes, like this. You didn't say that one? That was crazy.
Yeah. I'm glad you watched it.
Crazy, but oh God, it's
Okay,
like,
this is less upsetting than
but this
Chinese
is
junk food.
like that is era for Chinese culture. Like there are other things, like it's just like the development of the culture, especially online.
Oh, you're saying that they're finally catching up to that jackassery?
Yes,
type
like
thing?
because there's like other, especially like in places and markets where comedy is newer, like satirical or like it's like more nascent stages of comedy in those places. Like the guy, remember I was telling you the Malaysian guy that I saw this guy who was an open micer in Malaysia in a documentary. He was fully doing doing open mic stuff. Like Malay people do like this. Chinese people are like this. That motherfucker had a special on Prime within a year and a half.
You know what?
Same jokes.
Now, if you have a special on Prime,
It's it. That's where the new place. Nate
No.
Bargatze just had his new special on Prime.
no, but I'm saying that's not something. Nate Bargatze's great,
Yeah.
but like.
It's a new spot.
I don't know. I feel like getting a special on Prime is like
It's a
you're
new
saying
spot.
like this Malaysian open micer got one.
Yes, because
that's what I'm saying. Like,
because
why
he's
does
the-
that?
Prime is the new though.
The-
Prime
absolutely.
Is Prime is
Malaysia-
getting everything. Like,
everything.
I can watch my HBO on Prime. I can watch Stars on Prime. Like you can
Prime
watch
is
it
the
all
new.
on Prime.
You're saying this Malaysian guy? Yes. You know why? Because
Why?
they were there first, and he's the biggest comic in Malaysia.
Okay,
It's just
I
crazy.
mean,
Like,
that's why he's on Prime.
Yes.
true though. Like I feel like we are going backwards sometimes with like comedy because like looking at these people like Dylan Mulvaney who documented her entire like transition
Yes.
over a year is now like I feel like trans jokes are being brought back out and it's just like I thought
Yeah.
we buried those. Like why are these coming out again? It's because it's a hot topic. So
Yeah.
it is just like a new space for comedy adds new places for
Was
like
trans jokes out of vogue for a while? What do you mean? Like you're saying like trans jokes are now back out?
yeah, like trans jokes are like coming up from the grave. You know, it's
Yeah.
just like
Oh,
like didn't
yeah.
Dave Chappelle made it one like recently.
Yeah.
Or, like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Neo said some off-colored thing about like trans people, and
Trans
it's just like
yeah.
it's like oh, it was taken out of context. It's like well, if you're commenting on trans people in
Yeah.
general, I feel like that's
It's also like, I guess people are always gonna find the lowest thing
Yeah.
to do. You
Yes.
know, like.
But like in
punching
different
down
markets
in
like
way.
that, it's like I feel like it's just the maturity
Is that punching
of-
down for me to enjoy that account, Chinese junk food, of these developmentally
I mean,
disabled
how about this?
Chinese
For
people
me
doing
personally,
like.
I don't like even watching parents who do shit with their kids like that.
They're not children. They're
Yeah, I
full
know, but
adults.
but it's like
and
the same
they're still
thing.
their parents, like
Yeah.
developmentally, like they.
I don't.
you
I just
know.
don't like. I don't. I for me
It's like
personally.
selling them out for.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to see. That's why in Illinois now, like Illinois is the only state, as of 2 months ago, that had a law that if you are putting your child in content, you have to set a certain amount aside for them.
Great. I didn't know that
Oh.
about Illinois.
Illinois is like the only state, which was like finally a win for us.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
And the rest of
Because
you, the rest of you, 49.
There was that.
Fuck you.
There was that influencer mom who got arrested for
Yes.
child abuse. Like
Straight
it was
up
crazy.
abuse. Yeah, it's
I mean, I
crazy.
could see that happening
Yeah.
everywhere.
But I just like something about the power dynamic of it. To me, I just like as a parent, I'm just like that is fucked up. Like because my son is constantly trying to get me to film him, and I'm like no, because he wants me to film him dancing, and his dancing is bad.
That's
And
what I
it's-
mean.
No, but see,
this shit is fucking good.
But then- but
Chinese
you-
junk food is good. Like, but the
then-
content is good.
But then my thing is like your kid, like
Yeah.
if you put that on the internet, you know, like if you like let's say it blows up and like people then are on Reddit like roasting him
Yes.
in 10 years.
I literally that's what I
Reddit
tell
could-
him. I was
yeah.
like in 10 but when you're 13 you will hate me
Mm-hmm.
because one it is bad, so it's funny,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it's you're like being like, oh look at me greedy or whatever, like, and I'm like killing it or whatever, and I'm like this is you're 100% bad. Go back to learning the steps.
when you get good, yeah.
Maybe mommy will record.
yeah, the ring light might come up.
Yeah. But like it's funny for sure, but if I put it out there, then in 5 years he's gonna be fucked up like by it, and it's like fucked up for me to want others to,
Yeah, I think there's
even
something.
though I think it's funny and
I'll
it is
drop.
funny.
I'll drop this in a second
Yeah.
because everybody I've brought this up to, it has really told me like I need to stop watching that stuff. But
And you're like, let's try it here. Last straw for the entire world to hear.
Okay. One more time. What about
my thing is, maybe it's because they are so rural and so in the mountains that
Sure.
like
don't know.
there's like a safety to they'll never be exposed to any of the actual people or even the comments. I don't think they even have phones. Only the mom has the phone,
and only the mom has Wi-Fi access?
and she's the only one who's getting this money because she doesn't live in Illinois.
That's why I'm like, that's
Okay.
correct. But the more you described him, like
It's
the more
exploitative.
Yeah, all right.
I'm gonna drop it. Why, do you have something to plug?
I sure do. I feel like now like a calming music is gonna. So like I said, I did a brief stint in a mental health center in California, and I hate journaling. But my therapist
Yes.
is like, you have to journal, and I'm like, I don't like it. Like we were talking about earlier, it's
Yeah.
like I would just stare at it and be like, what do I do?
Yeah.
You know? And so then I was introduced to music therapy. I'm not
Ooh.
sure if you've heard of that, where like you can listen to any song. It could be like happy birthday, but you
Yeah.
take out like words that like you hear in that stick out to you that day, and then you basically journal using those words as prompts. So it's like kind of like reverse Mad Libs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
where it's
interesting.
like you use those words to like write your feelings.
So walk me through what's like that process.
Yeah, so like there's a song "Treat You Better" by Rufus Du Sol that I listen to a lot, and you know it means a lot to me because I've resonated with just like how I've treated people in my past and in my journey, and just like how shameful I should be when I should be happy about like where my life is at. And so I like take the lyrics from that song, and I use this song like once a week. I do this every day, and like some days it's about me, some days it's about like my parents, some days it's about other people, and I just take the lyrics from that song and just kind of like write a letter to myself or to them. Like,
So do you listen to the song?
I listen to the song first, and then I'll like write down as the song goes along like lyrics that I hear, or like even just one word.
Okay.
And then I'll make sure that like.
And so
I
then you
use
turn
those.
off the music, or do you listen to it while you
I turn
write?
I put on like neuro beats.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And
Lo-fi hip hop.
Lo-fi hip hop or chill
Study.
beats.
Yeah.
Chill beats. I really enjoy Spotify chill beats. Get
Yes.
into that too.
Yeah, lo-fi beats
So,
to chill and relax
Yeah,
to.
exactly. So it's great because then I'll knock out like 5 pages. I'm like, wow, I didn't
wow.
even have anything to start with.
Yeah.
Wait, so how are you writing 5 pages with just the lyrics?
Because then I kind of go off on a tangent, and then I'm like,
you
it's like
could go
it's like a
off.
thought
Yeah. Okay.
starter.
You're using it as like
There's no like method to it. It's just like more of like, if you don't know where to start, like
I
listen to a
see.
song. Even if you write down 5 lyrics,
Yeah.
and
It'll
a page,
trigger something.
Yeah.
It triggers something. Yeah, it's like, okay, like this is why am I like resonating with this song today?
Yeah.
Like something someone else wrote. So then I would take what someone else wrote and kind of make it my own. I'm
That's
not publishing
great.
it, so it's not like plagiarism. But
No, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I'm gonna
I've
try
done it with
this.
Taylor
Yeah.
Swift. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
you can do it with anything.
I would
Can you
definitely
you could do
this.
it any song?
I did it with Taylor Swift, Mr. Perfectly Fine, which is like her smudging Joe Jonas, and I'm like, but
Yeah.
I made it about like my
Okay.
journey. Yeah.
All right.
I
My
love it.
neck, my back.
Yeah, no,
Nice.
literally, you. I dare you. I would love it.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, do it. Yeah,
I love it.
because like we were talking about earlier. Like that was so fitting because I cannot stare at something and just
Yeah.
like do it.
Yes.
you know,
It's hard for creatives to just
yeah.
jump off.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's psycho.
But like everything is a copy of something, you
Yeah,
know. And I'm sure as
absolutely.
comedians,
Yeah.
you guys understand that too. Where it's just like I
I
see
have
people
never stolen
yeah.
a joke.
Yeah, but not even a joke. But even like you hear that, it's like, oh, that's funny. But I can relate to it. Even when I was at the Stradio Lab show, like there were things that were being said that I'm like, oh my god, like I could definitely make something
Yes.
not exactly like that,
Yeah.
but like that reminded me of something in my
Oh,
past
absolutely.
that
Yeah.
I can talk about.
I mean, that's
yeah.
actually the big part of creating at all, is that you're hoping that it resonates with someone,
Mm-hmm.
so that in fact means that you share something and that we have a common place that we're starting from. So of course it's going to be something that like
See, that's what that mom in China's thinking about. As
Oh my
She
God.
just wants to
We're done
connect.
there.
okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming into the show.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
I'm hungry for Chinese food now. Yeah.
Do you want to plug anything to tell people to
I
come
have
to watch?
I have a weekly newsletter. It's
Cool.
Workdays,
Yeah.
WRKDAZE, where I talk about like office culture with humor, but also just like growing up a millennial.
Okay.
Like this
Cool.
week we did a quiz that was like, what 2000 cell phone are you based on how you text people? I got a juke. I don't know if you remember that phone, like the really skinny, like
Yes, I
yeah,
do
yeah.
remember.
I think I'm a StarTAC T9.
What's
Oh.
that?
StarTAC, Motorola.
Is that like the egg phone?
Am I aging myself?
Yeah, that might be-
this?
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
I'm older than you.
How you are really throwing me under the bus right now? I'll pull up a picture
Yeah,
later.
okay.
Okay, so how do people get on that mailing list? Your
Um,
website?
Yeah,
or
you can just go to my Instagram and find it, or
Okay.
it's like workdays.co.
What's your Instagram?
Justme.rod.
Justme.rod. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, thank you so much for being here.
Well, this is so much fun.
Yes.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.